Okay, good evening, folks. I'd like to open the Leominster Planning Board meeting for September 16th, 2024 at 6:30. The first here is 6:30. Continued open public hearing for special permit floodplain for 68, 70, and 72 Pleasant Street, map 14, parcel 19, 3, and 3A. Multi-family residential above floors with offices on the first floor.
Yes, Chair, we received a letter from the engineer on this, that they would like to continue this to October 21st, I think.
Yeah. Two in October, right?
October 21st, yeah.
So 21st, so moved.
6:30? We
Yeah,
don't do that,
6:30.
don't we do that later?
6:30, right?
Yes.
Okay. so moved.
Motion made and second to continue to October 21st at 6:30. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Gotta do a roll call.
Oh, roll call, roll call.
Oh, that's right, we'll call Carol.
Patrick Perla.
Yes.
Paul Weiser.
Yes,
Sal Chaconi.
Yeah.
Carol Torioso.
Carol?
I'm sticking with it.
Tom Kerrigan, excused. Jason Parre.
Yes.
Dean Valier.
Yes.
John Souza.
Yes. Okay, 6:31, continued open public meeting for site plan for 198 and 204 Hamilton Street, map 236, parcels 2 and 4, commercial parking lot.
All right, you have two memos in front of you related to this matter. One is from the building commissioner, dated September 12th, basically stating that he made an error when he said that this should come to site plan and special permit. And he says that he orders the use to cease. And then after that letter was issued, the applicant wrote an email dated September 13th stating that they wish to withdraw without prejudice.
Okay. I'll accept that motion to withdraw without prejudice. Somebody create that?
So moved.
Second.
Motion moved and seconded to accept a request to withdraw without prejudice. Any discussion? Here none, I'll call for the vote. Roll call.
Patrick Perla.
Yes.
Paul Weiser.
Yes.
Sal Chaconi.
Yes.
Carol Torioso.
Yes.
Tom Kerrigan, excused. Jason Parre.
Yes.
Dean Valier.
Yes.
John Souza.
Yes. Okay, we'll go to a regular meeting. Roll call.
Patrick Perla.
Here.
Paul Weiser.
Here.
Sal Chaconi.
Yay.
Carol Torioso.
Here.
Tom Kerrigan, excused. Jason Parre.
Here.
Dean Valier.
Here.
John Souza.
Yeah. Minutes of previous meeting, July 22nd, 2024.
Make a motion to approve as written.
Motion made.
Uh,
I'll second, but you can make.
And I have a second on that.
Make a
Okay, I don't have any yet. You have your opportunity. You have any
I was not late.
addition, deletions?
I don't know where, yeah, this arrived at 6:37.
Would like
I
Mr.
came in
Ciccone
with
to
Paul.
explain himself?
Huh?
Would like Mr. Ciccone to take a moment to explain
The
himself?
one
Or his
before
tardiness?
that at the library I was late because we couldn't find parking.
I don't think you can tell time.
Just having fun with you.
What are you talking about? I was out here.
I don't
This is
know.
this is
Paul, you his
this
witness.
is the meeting at the library.
This, July 22nd was the library?
Yeah.
All
No,
right,
that was the
withdraw
one
your
before
opinion.
that, right?
No, we were here in August. for the last-
Oh, that's right, July 22nd I was late. Yeah, I was late.
See?
Oh.
Withdraw the.
I withdraw my withdraw. That's the library meeting, okay.
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 Yep, see, it says.
I have a motion to accept as presented. Any additions, deletions, or corrections? Here now, call for the roll call.
Roll call.
Oh, October?
Patrick Perla.
Yes.
Paul Weiser.
Yes.
Sal Chaconi.
Yes.
Carol Torioso. Tom Kerrigan, excused. Jason Parre.
Yes.
Dean Valier.
Abstain, I wasn't here.
John Souza.
Yeah.
These
Okay.
folks came for the Pleasant Street project, unfortunately. So it's been tabled until October 21st.
See, there you go.
And so we'll pick it up again then.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay.
Sorry you came all this way.
Sorry, folks, we didn't know until tonight.
Yeah, but I don't want somebody driving in my driveway and putting up a huge apartment.
The special permit, the site plan was already approved, and the special permit for use was already approved. The only thing outstanding is the special permit for floodplain.
Okay. Yeah, never mind, 36 cars going by my house in my driveway.
We live there at 68 Pleasant.
Yeah, you can come on the 21st, it'll be at 6:30.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sorry.
Okay.
Just got
Plan submitted. Site plan application for 508 Main Street, map 242, parcel 9, commercial office building.
Yes, this is for an office building that's only about 800 or so square feet, but this got more than 10 parking spaces that's coming with it, so it has to go to site plan.
Yeah, it's behind the automobile dealership right on the corner of Water and Main Street,
And it has, it's in the floodplain, so.
okay? So that'll be scheduled for the 21st at
The 7th? It can go on the 7th.
7.
It can go at, something's at 6:30.
6:35. You're gonna wanna schedule the other one with the 6:30 one.
Oh,
So 6:35.
So moved.
6:35?
Second.
Yeah.
6:35. Motion made and seconded to schedule for October 21st at 6:25.
October 7th.
I'm,
10/7. October 7th.
the 7th. Okay, sure. October 7th at 6:25.
35.
35.
I'm having problems tonight.
Where you been?
I'm arguing with you. All in favor, say aye. Roll call.
Patrick Perla.
Yes.
Paul Weiser.
Yes.
Sal Chaconi.
Yes.
Carol Vittorioso.
Yes.
Tom Kergnen, excused. Jason Parre.
Yes.
Dean Valier.
Yes.
John Souza.
Yeah. Special permit floodplain application for 508 Main Street, map 242, parcel 9, commercial office building. This be October 7th at 6:36.
That's the motion.
Second.
Second.
Motion made and seconded for October 7th at 6:36. Any questions? Okay, call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Patrick
A
Perla.
roll call.
Yes.
Paul Weiser.
Yes.
Sal Chaconi.
Yes.
Carol Vittorioso.
Yes.
Tom Kergnen, excused. Jason Parre.
Yes.
Dean Valier.
Yes.
John Souza.
Yes. 3.3, site plan application for 881 Merriam Avenue, map 261, parcel 1, restaurant with drive-through.
Yeah, this is another Starbucks, and it's going where the Workers' Credit Union used to be.
Okay,
10:07 at 6:45.
6:45?
Yeah. 10:07 at 6:45.
That's the motion.
Second.
Okay. Motion made for October 7th at 6:45. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Roll
Patrick
call,
Perla.
please.
Yes.
Paul
Yeah.
Weiser.
Yes.
Sal Chaconi.
Yay.
Carol Vittorioso.
Yes.
Tom Kergnen, excused. Jason Parre.
Yes.
Dean Valier.
Yes.
John Souza.
Yes. Okay.
Just a few seconds.
All business. Special permit floodplain for 68, 70, and 72 Pleasant Street, map 14, parcel 19, 3 and 3A, multifamily residential, above floors and office on the first floor. This has been continued. Site plan for 198 and 204 Hamilton Street, map 23-6, parcels 2 and 4, commercial parking lot. This has been withdrawn
Without prejudice.
without prejudice. New business.
In 5 seconds, you can go back to the,
6:40.
okay, go.
I'm almost there. You wanna do,
Yeah.
It's
Open
6:40.
public meeting.
I can't, I gotta do,
5.1.
It's 6:40.
It's six,
Do the 6:40 first.
do six, I gotta do six.
Hold on.
Open public meeting for site plan application for Willard Street, map 499, parcel 37, contractors garages.
Oh, shoot. The cord is missing.
It's in your computer, Elizabeth. That's what the values.
Nice. First one.
There's
There's probably no way to connect, but you know.
Oh, I have to run downstairs.
Turn it on.
I have to run downstairs and grab it.
Okay.
For what?
You gotta get
I'm
the
sorry.
order.
They took it and put it on my
This came in
computer.
the mail, this is here.
They made it.
This is gonna be the first.
I know it. Hey, you're
A trailblazer.
yeah, you're breaking new ground.
They have a picture of you, so this is the inaugural,
Right over John's face.
The only thing
Right
that
in
we
the
put on the
presentation.
description.
I was
Put
gonna
on
move
them,
this
that's it. She puts that in her memo anyway.
And it's-
Steal this back.
Did I steal the tail back? Yes.
Yeah.
When you get to my age, then you're old. Yeah, that's where that should be.
Right, we don't want people getting too close.
So get your little buffers in.
That's nice.
Protect the chairman.
Well, we don't care about that. Well, he might need the radiation.
Carol, Elizabeth just had her downstairs for a
You never
second.
know.
You're wondering.
Okay, yeah, I heard her. Thanks, though.
Yeah.
I think I need to put it here though. 'Cause the cord-
Carol, there's gonna be a computer
Is there-
presentation.
she's gonna be
television.
getting it. She was just grabbing that.
Groundbreaking.
I'm sorry to miss it.
We'll see. So while we're waiting, I found a discrepancy in the agenda. 508 Main Street is not 242-9, it's 232-9.
There you go.
The address is wrong with the, for the plots one,
For the flood zone.
but no, for the office building.
Oh. In both things.
Which one are you referring to? We go by the application.
3.1.
You don't know?
3.1, if, I just checked the GIS map, and it looks like 508 Main Street is 232-9.
232. Okay. We can confirm, we usually go by what the applicant submits, so when it's being scheduled. But when Elizabeth does her review, she'll probably catch it there. When
Yeah, I
she
had
gets
IT
it.
issues and they took it and put it on my computer. I don't know why they did that.
Didn't know what to do with it.
What am I planning this?
First thing you need to expense is a
In the
water
wall.
table.
Oh, in the wall? Oh, look at that, it's even fancier.
Yeah, huh? Boy, good. Some electricians. That's good. See if it works, no less. That's the.
It worked for tech review, hopefully it works now.
Oh, look at, there you go. You got it. Oh, it is.
Oh, look at that.
Nice, look at that.
And we're live.
I can't go back to the drill.
One step at a time.
I know, we'll have to move the table.
Can we get the ball game on this?
Do you,
Okay, works perfect.
look at us. Look at us, modern times.
Wow.
Go figure, it's going back to work.
Okay, you're on, anytime yet.
I'll sit down by you. Grab my bright papers and things.
All right, Wesley Fliss, McCarty Engineering, here to represent Stonebridge Development. Just want to make sure I grab my plan here, sorry about that. It's a little different for me too. Right? I'm used to having the plan right in front of me, so. So the site that we're looking at is parcel 2 Willard Street. This is Jitech Drive, this is Jitech Road, and it's right across the street from Torrey Circle. It's really the last piece of property within the Jitech industrial park that's vacant. It usually used to be owned by the same owner as this property now. but it's been sold to, current owner is 86 to 88 Main Street LLC. And so the proposal is to do two,
Just speak it up a little bit so they can.
Sure. So two contractor yard, but not really yard, but two rental buildings for contractors. And so it's going to be a 3-unit building there, which the dimensions are 50 by 116, which comes out to 5,800 square foot building here. The second building is 50 by 140 for 7,000 square foot building here. And so this building is going to be 3 bays, and this building will be 4 bays. The buildings will be serviced off of a driveway off of Willard Street. Here's Torrey Circle on the plan. We'll come in at the higher part of the property, come in with a fairly wide driveway to the maximum width that we can under the city ordinance. We'll come in with a wider loading area on the back side. On the upper side here of the site, we'll have drive-in doors, and so drive-in doors will be located in this area here, and then there'll be 4 drive-in doors also on the bigger building here. Each bay will have their own drive-in doors. Each bay will also have their own man doors. We do propose parking on the bottom side. Each bay will be serviced by 3 spaces each. So this will have 12 spaces here, and then we'll have 9 spaces down here. Each building will have their own handicap space. There'll be handicap ramps adjacent to those handicap spaces for those spaces, and there'll be man doors on the bottom side of the building into the buildings here.
Wes, what's required for parking?
So required is 2 per building, and then,
2 per
2 per
bay?
unit, 2 per
Yeah,
bay,
per
but we
bay.
show 3. And so, actually, the developers are here also with me, and so they've done a number of these projects now, and so they kind of have a better idea of their parking demand, what they've been seeing for their tenants. And so that's where the number, they were looking for more than 3 per bay, is what they're looking for. And that's on top of the drive-in door and having parking inside the building, right? So the site currently is somewhat flat up here, and then it definitely slopes down along Willard Street to the abutting property to the north here. And so the proposed grades, we're gonna actually flatten out the site fairly well around the building, and then there'll be definitely a grade off of the parking lot to match into the existing grades on the bottom side of the property. We do show drainage of the property with a number of catch basins, and also a trench drain along the driveway here. The trench drain came at the request of the DPW. Originally, we showed a catch basin. They wanted us to add the trench drain to make sure we grabbed all the water from the site back into the property. All the water in the property will be caught in the parking lot and the buildings, put into underground infiltration systems. There's 2 matching underground infiltration systems in the lower part of the site, and then that water will go back into the ground. The material on the property is very good sand material. The groundwater depth out here was fairly deep, so it actually works out well for the drainage part of the project, that we can actually recharge all the storm water back into the ground. We do show sewer connections. Apologize, let me just go back up to the. We do show sewer for the 2 buildings that come out in the corner here through our oil water separators, and then back out to an 8-inch sewer connection here from one manhole to the second. The other manhole now in Village Street, as at the request of the DPW, that was one of their comments also during the review process. And then we do show the water services for the domestic water services on the top side of the site, tied into the water in Village Street. We do show landscaping around the exterior of the site. We do show a mix of trees and shrubs around the exterior. We show our dumpster pads in the corners here to kind of keep away from the loading areas. The applicant asked that we show kind of a 50-foot wide clear space around here for any kind of maneuvering space for any of their tenants. Because the type of uses that they intend out here, we actually have more than enough maneuverability also for the fire protection equipment coming in here. So we did have, obviously, the fire and police review this as part of the submittal.
And they
to the fire
can't
department.
they can't park outside the bays to obstruct any of that, can they?
And so that's the intent, yeah, nothing to, if they're gonna park any real cars, it should be down here And so that, yeah, they're not looking to block any of the overhead doors. And so actually I have, I do have some elevations for you, and I also have some pictures of very similar buildings that they built not too long ago in Sterling, but these are just some elevations. You can see this is the 3-bay one where they get the overhead doors, they get the man doors on the upper side, and then on the lower side of the site, you have the man doors for each tenant. And then this would be the, I'm going the wrong way, sorry. This would be the bigger building with the 4 bays, the 4 overhead doors and the 4 man doors, and the lower section would be the 4 man doors. And just for an example, so they built these buildings over at 20 and 22 Pratt Junction Road. I don't know, like PJR, I can't remember the initial, Pratt Junction Road in Sterling. So this is the 4-bay building, and so this is the right half of the 4-bay building. This is the middle of the building, and then this is the left half of the 4-bay building, and this is their 2-bay building that they built there. And so the second building in Leominster would be a 3-bay building instead. And I also, just so you guys can understand also what they were using for, some of the questions was also for lighting. And so above all the man doors, they have these smaller wall pack lights. And then above the overhead doors, they have the wall pack lights like this, where it just shine down over the overhead doors. So it's not really, really intrusive lighting onto the site. It's really self-contained into the site there. Again, that's very similar to what you'll see for these buildings here. We tried keeping as much green space as we could, but also giving them enough maneuverability with the type of vehicles that they would have on the property. On the plans, we also do provide location for the snow storage. So the landscape we showed on the other plan, and then we do show ample enough snow storage around the site. Like I said, we do show the concrete dumpster pads, including by white vinyl fences, just to make sure that there's screened properly. So I know that's always a question. We want to make sure that that was done correctly for the site here. So, that's the project in a nutshell. I can answer any questions, or if you want us to go over some of the review comments the city department heads have had, we can do that too. I'm not sure what the board would like to talk about at this point.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Sure. So I did issue a response letter, and like I said, I did make a few changes, really had to do with more of the DPW comments with I say, substantial changes, but not really substantial changes. It was more related to the drainage. They want to make sure we gave more information on the drainage calculations, and then changed a couple small changes with the sewer. So I issued a letter on September 9th that went over the different department heads, and I can start on the top, which would be the DPW. And so their first comment had to do with the amount of runoff that was getting out to Willard Street, and it really wasn't a large amount, but it was a very small decrease that got out to Willard Street, and so in reply to that, we ended up adding this trench drain across the whole front of the site, into the front of the entrance, to make sure any of the pavement came back into the property. The second item had to do with the deep hole testing ordinance, and so we had done deep hole tests out here previously, but we understand that it has to be witnessed by the DPW, so all we ask is that it be a condition of favorable approval, that we do testing out here again under the witnessing of the DPW. And so I know Mark Pamariti from the DPW asked for that, and so we have no issue with, we've done that in the past, where we get out here, get a machine out here, and we can do some more test bits. Mark had asked where the handicap ramps were, and so on the site plan, we had labeled where the handicap ramps were, make sure that that was labeled up. The next item had to do with the sewer, which I talked about, and so the sewer in the site itself, up to this manhole, is all 6-inch within the buildings and out to that manhole, and then from this manhole out to Willard Street with the new manhole in Willard Street will be 8-inch per their request, and so that was those two changes with regards to 4 and 5. Number 6 had to do with the typo that was on the plan that we changed, and number 7 actually had to do with there was a request to just what a detail on the fencing around the dumpster pad, and so we did send them over over just a picture of what a white vinyl fence dumpster pad area would look like with the detail with regards to that. Assessor's office says that the zoning fits the intended use, as is an industrial zone. Health department, just make sure that, obviously is concerned about the noise issues, and I know that came up during the tech review meeting. And so the applicant is, owner is aware of that and will apply with any local and state noise ordinance that they have to.
What's the typical operation time for these guys? Do you have any idea?
6 to 6,
Identify your name, please.
Tim Shea. 6 to 6.
People usually sensitive in the morning.
And so I know, it was brought up, I know the mayor actually asked a lot of those questions during the tech review meeting. So we did submit a response to some of the other users that they've had and some of the tenants. Just because he was asking the same thing, right? And so that's where it's been landscape companies, tile contractors, industrial valve engineer, distributor, right? So it's more vans, right? A lot of times than service vans, stuff like that, where it's somebody looking to just have one bay for their business. They don't
Yeah.
need a bigger site. So that's where, I'm not sure if it's gonna be a huge noise issue. It's not
What's
one,
the,
it's not one contractor necessarily, it's like
The
not a
noise
huge
ordinance is
contractor.
what, 7 o'clock in the morning? Is it 7?
I don't remember if they,
Did she say in her memo?
I did not know, there was no time, so that's all that we got was that, health has concerns with regards to noise issues.
Yeah, I saw that. You just
And that
had
was the
concern
extent
about
of it.
noise.
There was no time frame. So if there is a time frame, obviously they'll have to conform to the time.
But the noise ordinance is.
The noise ordinance, I think, is 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's work.
Right.
If
Well,
somebody's
it's
driving
a lot of
in, the
noise,
people
yeah.
coming in,
Yeah.
or like if they don't want any trucks out there idling at that hour, you know.
Right.
Somebody's got a diesel and they want to get it started, especially in the winter.
The next item was the police department, and they just, if an alarm system is installed, contact information for the owner and manager should be kept on file at the police department. And so, that information will be sent over. The fire department approved it. Like I said, we had a conversation with them about just make sure they had enough access around it, and because of the type of use, we have plenty enough pavement for them to get their largest vehicle around.
All the way around, right?
Yeah. And that was why we went to the widest entrance too, with regards to 35 feet wide there at the
It's
entrance.
pretty wide right now, isn't it, the way it sits?
It's actually all, well, it's all,
Well, it was all cut.
it's, yeah,
It's a full,
it's forested, yeah, right now, so.
Yeah.
So that's why, that was why we actually kind of played around with the site a number of times to try to get the buildings and all that stuff and the amount of pavement. So we did get more pavement than we typically would to get the, and actually these guys were asking to make sure that we, just in case, to have a trailer truck to be able to get in and around it. So that's actually bigger than a fire truck.
Yep.
So that's why it's so much pavement. Building inspector is approved. The Conservation Commission just requested only native trees and shrubs be used in landscaped areas, and we don't have an issue with that. I know we added types of trees and shrubs on the plan. I know Elizabeth had a chance to look at that. And then the last section would be the planning and development director, and so I just listed some of the items that we needed to provide more information on. And so to confirm the dimensions of each parking space, confirm the width of the parking aisles, and then display the location and the design of any proposed signage for handicap spaces. And so I did add some more dimensions with regards to the parking aisles. And then on the details, we show standard spaces and handicap spaces. And on the handicap space detail, we also show the location for the handicap sign with a minimum dimension off the back of the space. And so we show those items there. Per section, so the next one had to do with the fire and police department. We'll obviously have to ensure that all structures, uses, and equipment are readily accessible, and so we have no issue with that. We were asked to clarify the square footage of the buildings, and so I did add the square footage of the buildings on the plan. And so that was added to the plan in regards to the square footage, being 5,800 and then 7,000 square feet. The other question had to do with the lighting, just make sure that we had more, show the lighting, and so we did show, They show all the locations of the overhead door wall packs, and then also the man door wall packs. And so you can see the smaller symbols and the larger symbols for where they're located, and then that's the extent of the lighting that's being proposed on the site, because of the way everything's located. There's really no need to put any other lighting at this point out on the property. And that was what we were looking at, trying to obviously make it not too intrusive on the neighboring residences out on Willard Street, so. Landscaping, we were asked to put a legend, more information about the trees and shrubs, and we put a legend on there with regards to the trees and shrub information. The loading unloading area, as I stated, this basically whole area we consider as the loading area. And so that's what I put in the letter, is that that area is 334 feet long and 50 feet wide, is basically the length of the space in front of those buildings. That's what we would consider our loading area for this project. Confirmation of the sidewalk width. We labeled one of the sidewalks. We added the label to the other sidewalk just to make sure that both of them are shown as 5 feet. The next item had to do with the abutters within 300 feet of the site, and so we had just, we didn't do the survey plan. Somebody else had done the survey plan, so they didn't show all the abutters within 300 feet, and so that's why we showed all the direct abutters to the property, and then I believe I know on my plan, I added the abutters across the street on Willard Street over here also, to make sure that we could see who the abutters were across the street. So everybody, at least adjacent to the site, was shown. It's not everybody within 300 feet, because I know there's a couple of properties on Torrey Circle that would, I think, be within that 300-foot radius. Number 9 had to do, confirm all easements and right-of-ways are detailed on the site plan, and so we do show all the right-of-ways with regards to the streets. There are no easements on this property, and so we show all those. Indicate any proposed signage, so we aren't showing any signage currently on here, and so until they get a little further on the process, they may have future signage, and so all we would say is that they'll obviously make sure they deal with the building inspector with any future signage that would have to be put up there. They meet any of the zoning, and if they don't, they'll have to go through the proper steps of, with any of the signage they propose out here. But we don't propose anything at this moment for signage. The next item had to do with architectural elevations, which I had shown you, that we provided those as part of the updated plan. And then the side setback for landscaping. The side setback needs to be landscaped per section 2262.3.2. And so on this one, so we do show landscaping on this side yard offset. The side yard offset actually is this dashed line here. The majority of that section within that area is not going to be disturbed. That's an existing steep slope that's forested now, and so we're not looking to touch that slope. And so we would like to just keep as much of the existing vegetation there as we can to meet that requirement. And then obviously we're showing additional landscaping, but it's not in the side yard offset. So, and that was the last comment. And like I said, I know I did get an updated letter from Elizabeth today. I think the 2 items were just to make sure that with regards to the lighting, and then lighting, or was that the only other?
The lighting was the biggest thing.
Lighting, right?
Yeah, so your lighting is just off the building?
That's all it was.
You
off
didn't show the candle
building.
with,
Right, and so I do.
You get your,
We didn't propose one yet, and so what I would ask is, until they, obviously, once they get this approval, then they'll submit to the building inspector with the building plan. And as part of that, they can give the building inspector a photometric plan, once they have their actual light they're gonna use. They did give me cut sheets on the ones they used in Sterling. But that was, what'd you build that, a couple years ago now? Yes. A couple years ago, right, so they may use this, something similar, but it's not, it might not be an exact light, but if we could give that to the building inspector, have them just check that off to make sure that it doesn't spill out. Like I said, where we're showing all the lights, it's not gonna go past really the parking area and that loading area, so. We don't have anything facing Willard Street either, but that was the intent, is not to have any intrusion on the abutting residences. I know that was a concern at the tech review meeting, was to make sure we have something that, we know it's zoned properly for the use, but it's right next to the residential use.
and that's the one thing that the Board of Health mentioned it is
Correct.
close.
Correct, yep.
Residential, even though usually we try to get something in between, but this one doesn't work all the time.
And it's, I mean, Tory Circle, it's not a direct go across.
Right, it's gonna be that one, it's gonna be that one abutter across the
Yeah.
street that will see the biggest impact of this, yeah. And that's why we're trying to show, and really, there's gonna be a little bit of a slope here and a retaining wall also.
What's the, is there elevation, the one that's gonna get the traffic coming out? You know, let's say the lights
So-
are coming out, are they gonna be, you know, above them, below them, or right at them? Any idea?
Actually, I think, let's see.
'Cause maybe
What's your
you wanna
elevation on the other
provide a
side?
little bit
So
of
actually, when we
buffer.
come, where the lower parking lot is, it's actually gonna be closer to the property line. It's,
Right.
the entrance is here.
So as they turn right on Willard Street, those
Yeah.
lights go right into their house, right? Because it's probably
It would
about the
be,
same
it would be,
elevation.
it's gonna be close to the same elevation probably, yeah.
Yeah, so.
And it's gonna be it'll be in the morning time if it's still dark, if they leave early enough, that'd be the
Or
only time.
winter as well, leaving.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, right, that's what I'm saying, if they
So
leave
maybe
early.
there's something you can do to mitigate that a little bit?
Well, that's what we're trying to, well, there is a little bit of a slope here, but the hard thing is we're trying to not impede the sight distance coming out in and out of here too,
Yeah,
so.
no,
I
understood.
mean, we can maybe get a few more shrubs in here to kind of block the lights, a little low
Well,
light.
it's not even the lights
Right.
from the building, it's the lights from the people leaving.
That's what, yeah, exactly, yeah.
So if you do some, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe you can put a little, you know, fencing up for them or something, I don't know, on their side, you know?
Yeah, we can take a look at that.
Yeah, take a look at it
Yeah.
and see if you can mitigate it anyway on that side,
Right.
not by cutting
Yeah,
down.
we're looking at, right? It's the two house, the house here.
Yeah, because we had sensitivity
That's the
further up
problem.
Willard Street with that, too.
Yeah.
A new development went in and there were
Yeah,
homes
yeah.
that, and they did a great job on mitigating that problem as well. And they widened the road, so that's good for you guys. So that's good.
Okay. Anything else you want to add?
The other thing was, it's minor, but you didn't show all the butters within 300
That's
feet. You showed the,
The reason
Direct
is,
just the
abutters.
butters,
you didn't show the abutters.
We showed the
One of
direct
the
abutters.
abutters.
not all within 300 feet.
Were they all notified?
All the ones, this is site plan,
The site plan review.
Oh, site plan, doesn't- okay.
so
Just
they
the
weren't
direct
notified.
abutters. Okay. Okay.
Okay. I move to close the
So do you have any waivers?
Waiver request?
No waivers.
No waivers? Just a request from Sal to try to work with the neighbor if there's a problem with
Yeah, to
lighting.
mitigate that,
Okay.
that light. And I know it's only a couple times a year, but it can be aggravating to sit in the living room and, you know, the lights are coming in there.
Yeah.
The boards have got looked
I,
at.
not,
Sal's.
I'm telling you, this thing is golden. It's not-
Trying to see if anyone in the audience wants to comment, otherwise we can close this.
Gotta get our chair back, too, 'cause that's irritating.
Okay.
Just gonna roll into it again.
Too open.
Need a motion to close?
I think,
First, the audience, anybody?
yeah, that's for the audience. I don't have any audience.
Okay, then I move to close the hearing.
Second.
I have a motion made to second to close the hearing. Do you have any further discussion?
Roll call.
Here none, I'll call for the roll call.
Patrick Perla,
Yes.
Paul Weiser,
Yes.
Sal Chaconi,
Yay.
Carol Vittorioso,
Yes.
Tom Kergnen, excused, Jason Parre,
Yes.
Dean Valier,
Yes.
John Souza.
Yes. Okay,
And right back up.
go right back out to,
Don't go to this. New business, we're moving on to
Figure
that.
out was.
Okay.
yeah, 'cause we've done, we go into new business,
Yep.
okay? 5.1, site plan application for Willard Street, map 499, parcel 337, contractors garages. What's your wish?
Motion to approve, we had.
We have a condition from the DPW.
Yeah. Condition from the DPW.
Condition with all
With all
department heads.
department
He met. And also looking into the mitigation on that.
I will second Sal's motion.
State how you want the lighting that said specifically in the notice.
Say again?
Tell me how you want it said in the notice.
I want them to see what they can provide for mitigation for
The
the
neighbor
lighting
across
coming
the
off the
street.
lot by vehicles, for the neighbors across the street.
Now, if the neighbor says it's fine, then
That's
you
right.
guys are off the hook.
But, you know, it'd be
It's-
nice to.
it's between you and the neighbor.
And it'd be nice to see,
We understand.
even yourselves go over there and see how the lights might affect it, you know?
Okay, so you want to see what can be provided by the applicant for mitigation of lighting impact on the neighbors? Or-
Right.
That's correct.
On Terry
Well,
Shirt.
well, it's on traffic.
That's
It's on
really a
traffic light,
recommendation.
not the
That's a traffic,
village.
traffic lights on Terry
That's-
Shirt.
That's not.
Coming off the sidewalk.
Yeah.
That's a recommendation, not a condition.
Right.
Yeah, that's just a recommendation.
So it's
Yeah.
not gonna go in the notice?
You can do
Well,
the
it should-
No,
photometric
no,
plan.
it is a
by the
recommendation.
They
building.
made a recommendation that they look into mitigation
They do that one
for the
instead.
traffic lighting coming off and on site.
So it's a recommendation but not a condition?
Correct.
Correct.
So you don't want it written in the notice?
If it's not a condition, it should be in the
It's not a
notice.
condition, it won't be in the notice.
But you
Correct.
can do the photometric plan to the building inspector.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
That's a condition.
That's right, but it's a condition. Very good stuff.
okay,
And then the planning and development director shall review all conditions to make sure that
okay.
they've been satisfied prior to C of O.
Correct.
You also want to note that, you know, prior to
See you later.
building permits,
Issue.
get them to the
C of
occupancy
O.
permit, okay? There'll be
Yes, okay.
a condition, we have a condition, okay, that the site, any work, we would have require a bond to cover any site work that's not done. So if you get your building all done, you want to get started, and it's in the middle of the winter, okay? And you say, I want to do my landscaping in the spring, okay? Then what we do is we put a condition, there would be a small bond to cover it at that point, okay? It's just because we've had some issues in the past.
Oh, yeah.
We just had one we found about 2 years ago, they had a
You
condition
guys.
33 years ago
Yeah.
to put in a detention pond, and it never happened. Now they came in for an expansion where the detention pond was supposed to be.
Okay.
So you want that to be a condition?
Yeah,
It's in the ordinance.
yeah, I'm just,
But you wanna,
it's
you
in
wanna
the ordinance,
emphasize it.
I'm bringing it up, it's in the ordinance, so just let them know
Educational.
in advance, all it is comment.
Is this a condition or?
No,
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 it's in
no,
the
just-
ordinance, no.
It's just a comment that they know,
Just a
something
comment.
different we're
No.
doing, that they know that it's,
Sal made the
that
motion,
we
you
have that
seconded? Okay.
as a requirement, it's in the ordinances.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Got a motion and a second.
I have a motion made and
Do
seconded,
the roll.
with conditions, to accept. Roll call, please.
Patrick Perla.
Yes.
Paul Weiser.
Yes.
Sal Chaconi.
Yes.
Carol Vittorioso.
Yes.
Tom Kergnen, excused. Jason Parre.
Yes.
Dean Valier.
Yes.
John Souza.
Yes.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys.
Good job.
Yeah.
Can I grab this for you? Okay.
Nice job with your technology, yes.
Yeah, I know, huh? That worked out a lot better.
Very,
Yeah.
very impressive.
You certainly did.
Do like that, though.
That's why we went there.
Let's grab the cord so we
Why you
don't.
guys went to
This is ours.
college.
Oh, yeah,
This-
exactly.
we paid
Well,
for it.
We were all talking about, how are we
This
gonna do
is
this
ours.
tonight, right? So,
Is it okay to leave this in the room or is it gonna
No,
walk away?
we're not leaving it in the room. It goes in the car.
Why you go?
It goes in the car.
Goes in the car, pretty good. We need a longer cable.
I'll tell Lars, yeah.
You know, longer cable?
We need a
Yeah.
25-foot cable, so we just over there. So they can sit above.
Yeah.
Please do
Is that a recommendation or a condition?
Condition, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Oh,
We'll put it in the budget.
it was only $12
I
for
think
the
I might
short
have
one.
one at home. 25 footer.
Expense that to Matt.
Okay. City council petition,
You know, the good
7-65.
one.
6.1, John,
6.1.
6.19.
6.1.
Hold on, a flip page.
Yeah.
First
Flip
page.
page, sorry. Communication, 6.1. Definitive subdivision modification of some of the states, map 423-3 parcels 11-33, continued communications from 8/19/24 meeting. Vote to make determination of deemed minor or major modification and then vote accordingly. On some of the states.
Pending the legal opinion.
Okay, depending on, okay. pending the legal opinion. Well,
We got a legal opinion dated
and I
September 13th.
have a legal opinion. You guys are gonna have to bear with me. There it is.
Do you want Elizabeth to read it?
Yeah.
Elizabeth, you wanna read it?
Yeah, I'll read it.
You're
We
better
have
at reading.
we have a
That's great.
legal opinion
Where is
from
this?
attorney Amy Questle dated September 13th, 2024, regarding the Summit Estates and Crown Point subdivisions. And it says, you have asked if the subdivision approval for the Summit Estates and Crown Point subdivision, the subdivision has expired. In my opinion, the subdivision approval has expired. I have been informed that the City of Leominster Planning Board, the board, approved the subdivision on May 24, 2004, the original decision. The original decision contained condition 4 that states, in accordance with the provisions of the Leominster Subdivision Control Regulations, the developer shall complete all improvements secured by a bond or surety within 3 years from the date of the bond or surety provided. However, the developer may request an extension. Application for the extension shall be filed with the planning board at least 30 days prior to the expiration date of the plan. Condition 4 thus requires that the developer shall complete improvements within 3 years, subject to an optional extension. On October 26, 2007, the original decision was modified, the modified decision. The subdivision statutes, general law, chapter 41, section 81A through 81GG, do not themselves provide for the expiration of the approved subdivision plan. However, in my opinion, the expiration date may be imposed in the approval itself or the planning board's regulations. I've reviewed the board's regulations dated October 12th, section 14 of the regulations concerns performance guarantees, and subsection G is the completion time schedule provision. This provides that the performance guarantee, an integral part of the approval process, is contingent on the completion of the improvements in section 8 and 9 within 2 years, with an optional extension of the 2-year deadline if approved by the board. Such an extension must be requested before the 2-year period expires. In addition, the regulations provide for the board's authority to waive certain conditions again as its sole option. Therefore, condition 4 is already more generous than the regulations. Pursuant to condition 4, the modified decision would have expired on May 24, 2010. However, the modified decision was valid as of August 15, 2008, thereby making it subject to general court's Permit Extension Act, as set forth in Chapter 240 of the Acts of 2010, adding 2 years onto that expiration. Additionally, another 2 years would be added as a result of the general court amending the Act of 2012 to provide an additional 2 years on such permits. Therefore, in my opinion, the modified decision expired on May 24, 2014. While it has also been asserted that because the original decision and modified decision required that the subdivision be constructed in phases, it would be impossible to adhere to condition 4, and estimates that the construction of the subdivision requires 9 years. Assuming this is true, first, condition 4 allows for an extension of the 3 years. Second, if it is the applicant's position that 2 conditions contradict each other, an appeal process is available in General Law, Chapter 41, Section 81BB. It is my understanding that no appeal was filed pursuant to General Law, Chapter 41, Section 81BB within 20 days of the original decision, or the modified decision. Also, the applicant has asserted that where the expiration is measured by the date of the bond or surety, and no bond was ever issued, the expiration did occur. In my opinion, however, such arguments are disfavored, as they would tend to support an applicant intentionally delaying a project just to extend the deadline. Moreover, this would not, in my opinion, affect the language in Section 14 of the subdivision regulations regarding the completion within 2 years, subject to any planning board approved extension or condition 4 allowing for 3 years. Further, in addressing arguments from Attorney Dombrowski that the subdivision did not expire, I will state that I've been informed that a signed covenant by the city does not exist or has not been provided. Also, I have been informed that Mr. Exares does not own all of the property consisting of the subdivision, which is problematic as that is required. Finally, delays caused by a third-party developer responsible for the sewer installation, in my opinion, do not toll the subdivision approval, nor the 8-year zoning freeze afforded to subdivisions pursuant to General Law, Chapter 40A, Section 6. The 8-year period under the present general law, chapter 40A, section 6 may be told if litigation, appeals, or actions by municipal officials make the legality of the construction or plans questionable, so as to impede work on or completion of the project. Emphasis added. General Law, Chapter 40A, Section 6, see also Pasqualina versus the Board of Appeals of Wareham, 14 Mass Appellate Court, 989, 1982. The running of a freeze may be told if litigation, appeals, or actions by municipal officials make the legality of the construction or plans questionable, so as to impede work on or completion of the project. However, personal considerations such as the developer's financial or marital difficulties do not toll the running of the freeze. However, in my opinion, these issues do not impact my opinion that the subdivision approval has expired. If there are further questions, please let me know. We did receive also an email from the developer stating that they would like to request a continuance till the October 7th meeting.
Because they didn't get this in time.
They got this afternoon, we got this Friday afternoon, and we had to decide whether or not to release it. We released it at about 3 o'clock.
Yeah, so that's why.
So they didn't have any time to respond.
And that is reasonable.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna extend it, but I mean, as you can see there, that there's very little opportunity that these subdivisions should be just restarted and
So do
redone.
they want to come and appear before the board and?
They wanted to do a minor modification to the plan and
But
continue
it's
on with building
expired.
permits.
But it's expired, you can't
10 years
have,
ago.
And it's not
You
on the
can't-
agenda.
it's not, it's not
Under
a.
communication, it's
But
it has to be deemed minor or major.
Right.
Gotcha.
If it was deemed minor, then it could just go under communication.
right,
If it's
right,
deemed
gotcha.
major, then it has to be
Right.
scheduled.
But
So
there is
then
no
you should-
plan at this point.
But we have the legal opinion
But
stating.
there is no plan.
So we
I
should
can't
keep
do a
this,
minor modification.
we should keep this under communication until they have an opportunity to appear and have their
I
say,
agree.
then you
I-
can make that
They
rule.
would put it on the communication, but
So I would recommend.
It
doing
doesn't matter
that.
what the chance is, because they'll probably appeal it anyway, so let's just go through the process. and
yeah, I mean,
yes,
that's really his only option at this point, is take it to land court.
And it's clear cut, but
And,
we should still have the
but before
opportunity
we
to.
do that, we have to, we'll give him a shot to come here, but I can't, I'm not gonna go against
So
this.
continue to
Well, no,
October
no,
7th
we're
is
just
your
saying, but give them
motion?
So
time
I
to
would move to
respond.
continue
Let
the
us see what the
response.
response is, you know?
Until October 7th under communications.
Yes.
Set, there you go.
So-
Motion is
They
second.
continue to October 7th on the communications.
And they,
Do
you
we have a roll
know,
call vote?
they have to be let, they have to be, somebody
Roll
has to
call.
inform them that we agreed to this, to be here October 7th.
Yeah, I will communicate that with the developer.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Roll call.
Roll call vote?
I'd like
Carol?
to give them the opportunity to come in on October 7th. Is
That's
that
what we
what we're
just
doing?
said.
That's what we're
Yeah,
doing.
That's what we're saying, Carol. Me and Paul.
Okay.
Yep, we agree. Yep.
Because I'm not completely convinced, only because
Go ahead.
I need, just like the applicant, I just need time to absorb both opinions.
Right.
All right, we have a motion and a second, let's vote.
Yeah. Motion made and second. Any further discussion? Here none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Roll call.
Oh, roll call, yes.
Patrick Perla.
Yes.
Paul Weiser.
Yes.
Sal Chaconi.
Yes.
Carol Vittorioso.
Yes.
Tom Kergnen, excused. Jason Parre.
Yes.
Dean Valier.
Yes.
John Souza.
Yes. Okay, city council petition 7-25, Elizabeth Wood, Planning and Development Director, on behalf of the planning board, zoning amendment request to amend zoning ordinance pertaining to upper story dwelling units. Plan board to schedule a public hearing.
Okay, we left a window at 6:31 for this on October 7th.
So
Okay.
moved.
Second,
October 7th,
Yep.
at 6:30?
6:31.
6:31.
6:31.
All right.
Yep. Okay, that's good.
I have a motion made and seconded for 6:31, October 7th. Do I have any discussion? Here none, call for the roll call.
Patrick Perla.
Yes.
Paul Weiser.
Yes.
Sal Chaconi.
Yay.
Carol Vittorioso.
Yes.
Tom Kergnen, excused. Jason Parre.
Yes.
Dean Valier.
Yes.
John Souza.
Yes. Director's report.
The only update I have for Quarry Estate subdivision is that we have not yet gotten approval from the developer to release the money. They're having trouble tracking him down. They're working on it. They're still working on it.
We haven't found him. He doesn't reply to,
You haven't found the developer.
They're working on it.
Yeah. That's right.
okay.
You're up.
Okay, motion to adjourn, well, no executive session, right? Motion to
No,
adjourn.
gentlemen. I have a motion to adjourn. All in favor, roll call, please.
Patrick Perla.
Yes.
Paul Weiser.
Yes.
Sal Chaconi.
Yay.
Carver Torioso.
No.
No.
Tom Kergnen, excuse. Jason Parre.
Yes.
Dean Valier.
I'll second the motion, and yes.
Second the
John
motion,
Souza.
second the award.
John Souza.
Yes.
Second the resolution.
Thank you.